What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy, Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. In free agency news, day number 3, the Dolphins have signed Pharaoh Brown today. That doesn't make anyone do anything. No one's like, I saw Pharaoh Brown. Listen, hand to God. I said, he's still in the league. That was my that was my initial thought. But I also know ball, so I know what Pharaoh Brown does. But I just thought that he's been passed around a little bit. Pharaoh Brown is a tight end for Seattle, and you're probably thinking we already have a good tight end. What are we doing? Pharaoh Brown is a very specific type of tight end. He is a tight end that is basically an extra offensive lineman. That's his bag. He comes in the game and just starts mushing. He just so and he's been people they say he's a nasty blocker. He's got a mean streak to him. That's not typically what you associate with a tight end. Most tight ends nowadays are not great blockers. George Kittle is probably the biggest exception where he's a great blocker and a great tight end, like reception wise. Pharaoh Brown is a average to below average receiver, great blocker, like one of the top few in the league. That's what he does. And the idea of this that made me excited was that he's specifically good at run blocking, which tells me that Miami is taking running the ball more seriously. I did not think that yesterday with the Alexander Madison signing because I don't know what that was. But bringing in Pharaoh Brown, it's a 1-year deal. Tells me for 1 year we're going to see if we can really double down on this running game. That's what that told me. Not a lot of money, very specific job, 1-year thing. If he goes well, maybe they'll re-sign him, maybe not, or they'll just get someone else in there who does his job that's younger or cheaper, whatever. But this is not. If you're wondering, oh, is he going to be taking snaps from John New? This is what I believe they're going to do. Again, this happened today, so coach hasn't said anything. We don't know anything. Typically, when you have two tight ends that do two different things, you can play them at the same time because that changes how defenses guard you, right? Because tight ends can receive or block, right? And so you can have Pharaoh Brown in consistently. John New can come in and do most of the route receiving, and then when defenses start shading towards Tyreek or John New or whatever, then that's when you leak out Pharaoh Brown and he'll actually catch a pass or two. So I imagine he'll have, 2 to 3 targets a game, in addition to him blocking a lot. But he's a big body, so if he does run out in a route, he has an advantage, but he's mostly in the block. But it's an extra target that also is a legitimate blocker because Jonnu is not much for blocking. Jonnu's trying to get downfield. He's got that Shannon Sharp gene where he's allergic to blocker. Jonnu, go make a block. Ooh, what happened? I don't know. I guess I got blockitis. He is not here to go make a block. He will make He will make a catch and break some tackles. He is not going down there to lay the block. That's not his job. But we bring in Pharaoh Brown to do that. So this tells me Miami is more serious about the running game. I would still like to see us draft the running back. I would prefer if Madison is not on the squad next year. But again, I could be wrong about that. We'll see. I just have seen him and occasionally picked him up on waivers and fantasy, and he has let me down consistently. But that's my own thing, so maybe I should let it go. But it's a good signing if you like the running game, if you want that to be the focus point. I think we are good at receivers, so now fortify the line, put more energy into the running game. I'm all here for it. Now, we have made a lot of moves in the offseason. We've signed a couple safeties, re-signed DBs, re-signed offensive linemen. I still don't think we're fully set at safety, right? And there's a couple free agents available. My personal pick would be to get Justin Simmons, who was on Atlanta last year and now is just a free agent. Justin Simmons is a interesting character. This is how I categorize him. He is the line of demarcation for how good your safety is. If your safety is better than Justin Simmons, thumbs up to that, I think you have a good safety. If your safety is worse than Justin Simmons, you need to fix your safety position. I think he's exactly in the middle. If there's 32 starting safeties, I think he's right at 15, 16. He can make a couple plays, he can make a couple mistakes. He's not a total liability, but you also don't feel like we're set. That's where I think he is. Now, he's been a ball hawk in his career. He has 32 picks in his career, which is more than any other safety since he came in the league. So he obviously has good ball skills. Usually, on deep balls, he just goes up and gets it. He sometimes misjudges where he needs to be on the field. So he can be in bad position. And he's been willing to come up and run tackle and run support, but that's not his specialty. He's basically back in coverage. So Justin Simmons, 1-year deal, $3 to $5 million, maybe some incentives, I think is a very solid option. It allows the team to maybe grow a younger safety or see who's open in the market for next year because this draft class is relatively weak at safety, but there's a lot of good free agent safeties. And so the idea is, do you want to invest in like long-term safety play, or do you think, safeties 4 through 17 are all kind of in the same little boat? I'm of the believer that if you don't have a Kyle Hamilton, like Buda Baker type safety, they're all kind of the same. That's my belief. I haven't seen enough safety play that jumps off the field to me that makes me think, whoa. Like Cooper DeJean was a safety corner hybrid this year, and to me, immediately was one of the top five safeties. Like immediately, I was like, yeah, he's better than most, and I think he's very good. But I think he's also very good at a weak position because I don't think there are a lot of great safeties now. So many safeties are blitz package heavy. They play near the box. They're 20 yards off the ball because teams are playing cover twos now, where you have two safeties 15 yards deep or further, and there's just no balls just don't get thrown that deep anymore. Everything is underneath now. Ever since Tyreek really kind of broke the league when he's with the Chiefs, teams have just said, you know what? No deep plays. We're backing them up. You can get all the underneath stuff you want. We're not letting you throw 50, 60-yard bombs. Those days is over, right? Like, unless there's a breakdown in coverage, which happens, or you have someone, like, remarkably fast, we're just not allowing it. It's going to be 12, 13, 14, 15 play drives. You just got to deal with that. And so because safeties are playing further back, the only way they really get in trouble is if they don't get back far enough, which is dumb because you're playing in a deep half of the field. Why would you not get back far enough? That's dumb. Or if a safety is trying to like mask that they're in a cover two. Sometimes you'll see a safety near line of scrimmage. And you'll see one deep safety. And the quarterback will say, oh, we got one safety. Cool. We'll just send two routes deep and, the safety will pick a side. I'll throw it to the other side. But what really happens is the safety comes in the box and at the snap, like sprints back and basically covers a half of the field. And sometimes they sprint back at the wrong angles. And, or their back is to the quarterback and the quarterback can do like a back shoulder kind of situation. So sometimes they get in trouble based on trying to disguise a cover two. But in general, the worst thing that happens is the ball gets completed in front of you and then you come up and try to make a tackle. You could miss the tackle, but okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. Like there should be someone pursuing from behind and you're coming this way. So you're kind of like trying to sandwich the defender. That may be too in the weeds on football talk, but I like DBs. I'm a DB guy. That's my position. So when I get into the weeds of it, I understand it. I think safety is possibly the most overrated position overall in the league currently. I think cornerbacks, DNs, linebackers are way more important now than deep safeties are because if those guys up front do their job well enough, the safety's job gets a lot easier. That's my opinion. I know it's gonna get some people in the comments like safeties are great. Okay, maybe you're right. Nowadays, I don't think so. Finally, we're going to talk about the draft because we have to. Every mock draft I've seen up until now had Will Johnson going like 8 to 9, right? I think Will Johnson is arguably the best corner in the draft. I think Travis Hunter will obviously go first because Travis is a phenom, right? You can argue that just as a pure cover corner, that Will Johnson is the best corner in the draft. And the reason we haven't talked about him on the channel is because I never thought there was a scenario where he would make it to Miami. Now, it may be a situation where Miami has to trade up a pick or two because San Francisco is in front of us, but San Fran has also lost corners and safeties. So I don't know where they're going to go. They can go either way. Depends on what they deem to be most important. But I did see a draft that had Will Johnson going to Miami, and that really excited me because I hadn't even considered it as a thing. We've been talking about safeties the whole time. But if we do what I did in the last segment, we get Justin Simmons and we feel like we're okay for a year at safety. If you get Will Johnson at corner, you basically get a restart of Jalen Ramsey while also having Jalen Ramsey. They're both 6'2". Will Johnson's around 200 pounds. Jalen Ramsey's a little bit bigger. But you basically get the grown version and the young version of the same guy. And you get Jalen Ramsey teaching him the NFL ropes while being on the field with him at the same time. Dude, what are we talking about? He's good in run support. He's good in coverage. He has good instincts. He's been coached up because Michigan's defense are always coached up. I think this would be an absolute slam dunk. I would be personally, because, I'm a DB dude, I would be personally more excited about Will Johnson than any other pick we can have at this pick. Any old lineman, even if someone slides, Genty, if he's there, like, The only person that would make me more excited is if Travis Hunter out of nowhere slid 11 picks. I don't. It's almost impossibility. But any other pick, I think Will Johnson is the best asset at this position. I think you can move him all around. I think he's good in blitz pickup, not blitz pickup. He's good at blitzing, run support, coverage. He has a good feel for the game. Like I'm just an absolute fan. He's my personal favorite corner in the draft. I know Travis is better, like on paper or whatever. Will's my favorite corner. And if he's available and you team him up with Jalen Ramsey, I'm just look at my hands. You can't see them. There you go. that's what that's where I'm at right now. If you do that, J Ram, Will Johnson at corner, 2-6-2 corners, just bumping, running, waiting for you to make a mistake and throw the ball up in the air, bro. You can whoever we have at safety is going to be just chomping at the bit, waiting to get a pick because the DB is going to be so on top of you. You give Anthony Weaver so much more variance he can do on defense. Because if I got two corners, I feel like can guard. Now I can send. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I can send crazy blitz packages. I can send safeties in the box because I feel like I got two guys that can guard. It changes the way you play defense. It's the reason why the Jets were so good under Rex Ryan because he had Cromartie and Revis Island and said y'all can't throw on those two dudes. So we're going to do everything else when we go on defense. We're going to put 5 here. We're going to put 3 there. We're going to blitz 2. Because you know what? We can guard. And when you can cover in the secondary, it changes how you play defense. The same way if you can dominate up front with the D-line, it changes your defense. I don't see a scenario where our D-line is dominant next year no matter what we do. There's no, we're not getting like Mason Graham in the draft because too many teams will take him before. There's no way we can get him, right? And there's no free agent that we can afford that can change us that much. We can only be solid on the D line, but we can be great in the secondary. And if we do that, then that changes the whole feel of our defense. And I'm looking forward to it. If it happens, we'll see. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate y'all for supporting us. The love and support is crazy. We're trying to bring y'all the best content we can. If you have any suggestions, please let us know in the comment section. I don't know what happened there. I was so excited about Will Johnson. Will Johnson! Ah! If you have anything you want us to add, please let us know in the comment section, and we'll do that if we can. As always, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.